All right, so kind of a video that I've been contemplating making, and this is pretty much what I've been hearing now about the University of Florida and Billy Napier. So I'm going to present to you my arguments about Billy Napier. Basically, I think that Florida needs to give Billy Napier another season. And I know that it's actually been a disaster for Austin Armstrong in his first year really working at the Power 5 level. He was an absolutely terrific defensive coordinator at Southern Miss. He was elite. And I know that he worked with Ron Roberts and all the guys, in Louisiana, at Southeastern Louisiana, like the guys, the Ole Miss DC, Pete Golding was there at Southeastern Louisiana, and so was Austin Armstrong. And Austin's like only 30 years old. But the guy, I love Austin Armstrong from his time at Southern Miss, and just a tremendous guy, and just a real relentless recruiter, brings really good energy. So really good. I think that Austin Armstrong has a ton of talent. This year, it's been a young Florida defense, but honestly, it just, even for his standards, he would absolutely tell you it's not up to his standards if you spoke to Austin. All right, so one of the youngest defensive coordinators at Southern Miss, and this year Coach O'Brien at Southern Miss, it just hasn't even been close to the same type of success. All right, it hasn't even been remotely close. The success that Southern Miss has fallen off defensively. Now they're kind of trying to revive and kind of save the season. But the Nasty Bunch last year was terrific en route, to a bowl victory and everything. So Austin was very coveted. He was even hired by Nick Saban before the year in a co-defensive coordinator role with Kevin Steele. But then I believe that Patrick Toney then got hired by the Arizona Cardinals. It left a position for Billy Napier, and Billy Napier and Austin Armstrong know each other back from their days in Louisiana. All right, so young defense, but the defense has been pitiful. But I'm going to give you guys the stats why I still believe that Billy Napier can be the guy. First off, we should talk about Scott Strickland. Basketball-wise, like, they really are not doing that successful. Dan Mullen he hired, and then the recruiting there didn't get good. And then having Coach Graham on defense, he would utilize his blitzes too much and get burned. All right, and Florida wasn't consistent. They weren't building a consistent program. So it's a very tough job, Florida, because of what Urban did there, because of Steve Spurrier. It is a job where you have to battle Florida State. You have to battle Miami for recruits. You even have to battle, even FAU. You have to battle Georgia. It's very tough recruiting there. But Billy Napier has shown that he has some real teeth in recruiting, okay? And Billy Napier, he had the fiasco last year with a couple of recruits, but overall this year, if we look at their ranking, they are top 5 in recruiting. So that's absolutely huge. That's what's really keeping this thing afloat. If he was in the 50s and they're not going to make a bowl game, then you'd be having a totally different conversation. So just like Urban Meyer admitted he needed Tim Tebow in that class, DJ Lagway, the 5-star quarterback out of the Houston area, is going to be absolutely huge for the University of Florida, right? So Florida right now has LJ McCray. So Florida is really winning with a lot of defensive recruits, and that also goes to Austin Armstrong. But the point why I really also like Billy Napier is because he has a real specialty, and that's offensive football. He ended up taking a quarterback from Wisconsin that really wasn't producing at a high level at all in Graham Mertz, and this year Graham Mertz and this offense is actually rolling. People thought that would be the weakness of the team. It's actually the strength of the team. Every game that they've won, including the game at South Carolina, Graham Mertz has played really well. Against Tennessee at home, Graham Mertz really solid. All right, so Graham Mertz, I want to read you his stats this year. I think he's thrown minimal interceptions, and I'm correct. He's only thrown 2 interceptions, okay? His QBR is up around 70, all right? So Oh boy. I mean, his completion percentage is high, around 73%. So really quarterback plays going well. ETN, I think the brother, maybe Travis ETN, he is a really, really good running back, and they are really running the football. So against LSU, they nearly scored 40 points on the road at LSU. Once this defense gets a little bit better, Billy Napier is actually building something that could be worthwhile at the University of Florida. Graham Mertz could even play another year, and then DJ Lagway comes in. So you got to have continuity and a succession plan at the quarterback position, and that's exactly what Billy Napier is doing. So I actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to keep Austin Armstrong for one more year and see really if this defense takes off in the second year of Austin Armstrong, and be patient for once, because Florida, like, where are you going if you end up firing Billy Napier? I know that Chip Kelly could be a name, but Chip Kelly reminds me of Dan Mullen, where they're not going to recruit at the level. So Billy Napier, for him to be landing a top 5 class and keeping a top 5 class, that shows you everything. It shows you that he can do the job. And then his offenses have been going off. So it's been a rough year for Florida. And, I mean, you can't say otherwise. You objectively need to admit that. But this is year 2. And I believe that Billy Napier has the patience. He enjoys the job. I actually could see Florida turning it around. I could see Florida turning into a program like Tennessee that wins 8 or 9 games and really can, compete and get the second spot in that East, and then could try to compete with Georgia maybe for those titles. So the job's going to get even harder. I mean, with the schools coming in like Texas and Oklahoma, the job isn't going to get any easier. UCF joining the Big 12 isn't going to be as much fun to recruit against the Black Knights in recruiting. But still, DJ Lagway, the quarterback production that you've seen from Graham Mertz, the offense that you have seen, and then giving Austin Armstrong another year is exactly the way that I would proceed, and it seems like they're going to be going this way. So on the channel lately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some more recruits that are out there. I'm going to highlight some of the Florida recruits that are a part of this class, and we can see for ourselves how special these players can be.